If you spend a big chunk of your workday using Gmail, then I'm willing to bet you're wasting several entire days worth of productivity every year just from moving your hand back and forth from the mouse to the keyboard a couple times per hour because you didn't know the keyboard shortcut that could have accomplished the same thing for you. I'm not even joking. Think about it. 2 seconds per minute of work for 2 hours a day of time that you're probably spending using email across 240 work days per year, and boom, you're talking about 16 hours of your life just in that year that you could have spent sleeping or having fun or just being more productive in general. It is time to make a small but huge investment in yourself. I'm about to walk you through a 10-minute exercise that will finally help you internalize those keyboard shortcuts that you've wanted to learn in Gmail for so long to make you more productive for the entire rest of your life. Literally adding weeks of productivity over the course of just the next couple of years. I'm Andrew with Brainscape, a web and mobile education platform that not only offers the world's most effective flashcards app to study just about any subject on the planet, but that has also dedicated ourselves to improving your productivity and habits across all aspects of your life, which includes how you use Gmail. The exercises that we're going to do today will require you to be in front of a computer if you really want to follow along, with this video playing in the background, maybe in another browser tab, so you can follow along with your own Gmail account open in the present browser tab. Feel free to hop back over to this video, pause and rewind whenever you need if you ever miss something. And you may also want to reference the job aid that we've also included over at the Brainscape Academy. There's a link in the show notes here in this video where we have a master list of the 12 most useful Gmail shortcuts that you're trying to internalize today, because you may want to paste those into your own separate set of notes to keep on hand for the next couple weeks while those habits finally sink in. And finally, at the end of this video, I'm going to run through a rapid fire set of exercises that are going to quiz you and see if you can actually follow along without me even telling you what those keyboard shortcuts are. So be sure to practice along the way, really internalize these so that you're ready for my final exam and ready to have these be part of your work stream for the rest of your life going. With that said, let's go ahead and open your Gmail inbox in a web browser. For me, this happens to be my junk account, and I happen to be in Chrome on a Mac, but shouldn't really matter for you. And we're going to start by just doing a simple test to make sure that you have shortcuts enabled in the first place. So make sure you've put the cursor's focus in the actual window. You can just click, anywhere in the main area. You should see a little blue line on the side, but whether or not you do, we're going to test this by clicking the C on your keyboard, the letter C, not Shift C, not Control C, just C. And when you do that, you see this little compose message pop up, right? C is for compose. We're going to undo that by hitting the Escape key in the top left of your keyboard to make it go away. If that didn't happen, if when you hit the letter C on the keyboard, you didn't get the compose window, go up to Settings, hit See All Settings, and scroll all the way down most of the way toward the page, and you see here where it says keyboard shortcuts, off or on. Just make sure that they are in fact on, otherwise the rest of these things won't work. Okay, so by now you should have this video open in another browser tab so that you could just listen in the background and reference it. And you're staring back here at this screen at the point where you could throw away your mouse now. We're not going to use it anymore. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to actually search for an email in our inbox. So you can see the search bars up here, right? Well, how do I get to the search bar without using my mouse? Well, turns out that all you have to do is hit the slash key on your keyboard, in the bottom right of the keyboard, the front slash, and look at that. It puts the focus of my cursor right there. I'm going to go ahead and just search for the word Apple randomly.
And look at this, I see some emails from 16 handles about Apple soft serve ice cream, right? It's the second one. That's the one I'm looking for, the daily caramel soft serve ice cream. So to go navigate to it, remember this little blue line that we see here? That's showing that the focus is in the first email. I want to go to the second, which I can do simply using the arrow key on my keyboard. You see when I do this, the blue line goes up and down. Well, I'm just going to use this second one. And in order to open it, I simply hit the letter O on my keyboard. And look at that, I just opened the email. Now that should be easy to remember because the word open starts with an O. Right? We can scroll the email itself by just using the up and down arrow keys, same ones we used before. And when we're done with this, or we want to go back to that same list of search results, we can do so by hitting the letter G on the keyboard, followed by the letter U. So not at the same time, but G, push and release, and then U. So I'm going to do that, G, U, and then here I am. I'm back at the same list of search results. G, U always goes back to where you came from, whether it was search results or the inbox or sent emails or whatever. Now, we can keep navigating this list of search results like before, but I just want to go back to the inbox. And it turns out I can do that by using that G shortcut again for go, but this time it's going to be I. So G and then I. Boom, I'm right there at the inbox. Now I could have used other shortcuts like G and then T to go to sent. Sent with a T at the end is kind of how I remember that. I could have used it to go to all emails, G and then A, but in this case, I just used G and then I, and I'm back here at the inbox. So now we know how to navigate all around Gmail without ever having to hit the keyboard, which will speed you up so much, I promise, if you're a Power of Gmail user. Okay, so now that we've learned how to navigate Gmail without using our mouse, let's go through the whole life cycle of composing a new email without having to touch the mouse. Now, you might remember from before that simply hitting the letter C on your keyboard like this opens up a new message window. Now, you're no longer going to be able to use shortcuts at this moment because right now you see the cursor is blinking here in the to field, meaning if I type anything with the keyboard, it's just going to type, not use shortcuts. So I'm going to go ahead and send an email to myself, to my junk account, choose email.com, and I'm going to use the tab key to get to the new subject line here. Test subject, and then tab again to get to the body. Testing 1, 2, 3. I hope you're using the tab key already and not clicking every time you get to a new field in a form. But the difference here when you're composing an email is if you notice down here below, the send button is just one tab away from where you're already typing. So no matter how long your email was, many paragraphs, whatever, you hit tab one more time from that field where you were typing, and the send button is already highlighted. And when you hit enter on that highlighted button, look at that, it just sent me an email. Here it is, test subject, testing 1, 2, 3. So we've gone through the entire process of composing, writing, and sending the email without needing to use the mouse. All right, so now that we're back here in our inbox, let's deal with how to process incoming emails that we see in the inbox. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna find an email in our inbox that we don't really care about deleting or archiving, so we're gonna practice with it. So look at your own inbox, find one that you don't mind. For me, I'm gonna find this one from my lovely friend, Thea Beckman, who's a Brainscape learning coach, but I just don't need this email right now. And remember, using the arrow keys, I went down to find it, and I hit what to open it? The letter O, just to see what it is. Oh, look, it's some good tips from Brainscape. And if I want to archive this, all I do is I hit the letter E on my keyboard, and boom, the email is gone, it's archived, and I'm back here staring at my inbox. But what if, oh no, I didn't mean to do that. I wanna actually get it back because I meant to reply to that email. Well, how do I get to all emails again? We just talked about it before. It's G and then A. So on my keyboard, G-A. And here I am with all the emails. And that one from Thea from Brainscape is probably way down here. Thea Beckman, there it is. I go one more, I open it. And if I want to reply to it, now that it's reopened, instead of having hit E to archive it, I can hit the letter R to reply while the email is sitting here, and boom, I've got an email right here, hi Thea, and I can send it if I want by just hitting Tab and then Enter to send the email like we talked about before. And I'm just gonna bail from this one. So here we are, we've opened emails, we've navigated, we've replied, all without hitting the mouse. This time, we're gonna try opening one, maybe this one from Facebook, and forward it. Oh, this is an interesting notification. I wanna forward it to somebody, so I open it with the letter O, and this time, what do you think you do to forward? Is it, I don't know, say the letter F? That would be a good guess. I hit the letter F with an email open, and boom, I'm right there with the subject line and the to line to write it to myself. I tab to the next field, I tab to send it, and boom, I just forwarded an email. So many different ways to go about this. I can get back to my inbox again. How? By hitting G, then I. And all around, I've figured out how to field an email, open an email, reply to an email, forward an email without using the mouse. And if I forget any of these keywords, there is a shortcut that will save you a lot of time, which is just Shift and question mark, and that will pop up all the things that you need for easy reference. All right, by now you've seen some of the most useful keyboard shortcuts for Gmail, so you're ready for a rapid fire round where I'm just gonna call out some actions for you to try to replicate on your own, but I am not going to say the shortcuts out loud this time. Let's see if you can keep up with me. First, let's compose a new email. So we're gonna open the compose window. We're gonna type our own email address here in the box. We're going to move over to the subject line and type a dummy subject line and a dummy email itself, any number of characters, and then we're gonna just go ahead and send it without using the mouse. So we sent an email to ourselves. Now, let's go back to our inbox if we're not there already. So you can navigate there if you're not in the inbox by using that shortcut that you know. And then we're going to navigate to that email that is one down from the one that I just sent. And we're gonna open it. We're gonna say, oh wait, actually, we didn't want this one. We wanna go back to our inbox. We did want that first one, the one that we just sent to ourselves. So let's go back to the inbox. And yeah, let's be on this top one, and let's go ahead and open that. And let's send a dummy reply to ourselves. So go ahead and open up the reply by hitting that lovely shortcut that you should remember. And let's reply, blah, blah, blah. I'm just writing gibberish text. And let's go ahead and send that one back to ourselves. Finally, now that we've sent this, let's go back to our inbox one last time using the keyboard. Let's find an email that we want to archive, and I'm going to use the second one here. Let's open this email, and let's just go ahead and archive it using that keyboard shortcut for archiving. How'd you do? Did you get them all? Were you able to keep up? Well, if you weren't, you can always go back and watch where we put the shortcuts on the screen if you were just listening as a cheat sheet to test yourself. And you can rewatch this as many times as you need to get those tips internalized. If you've built up the muscle memory to keep up with me during that final exam, then congratulations, you have learned the dozen or so most useful Gmail keyboard shortcuts that will add tremendous value to your life over the coming months and years. Either way, just be sure to keep using these shortcuts every day so that they actually sink in, because it's easy to just get lazy and keep switching back to the mouse because that's what you know. You got to really internalize these things and make it a habit. And of course, you can explore more of the Gmail shortcuts if you get so good at this using the job aid and references that we have provided. If you like this advice here in this video and you want more hacks about productivity, habit formation, or other keyboard shortcuts for other programs, please subscribe to this channel. Remember to check out Brainscape's adaptive flashcards app if you haven't already, and keep building on that mindset of personal growth so that you can rise to any challenge.